Hi there, it's not a Tuesday, but it is time for an in real life video. This is a bit of a special interstitial one. Maybe we'll stop doing these just exclusively on Tuesday. In fact, we definitely will, as sort of the need or the cause arises. I think it's a good idea to sort of just work in some more, right? And this time, the cause is that the Fallout TV show trailer has landed, or at least the first one has. We've been getting teases every now and then, actors and stuff. I know Kyle MacLachlan posted on Twitter in November, I think, that he would be in it. We've seen leaks. We've seen pieces from the set, pictures from the set, either through official or, like I said, more leaky means getting out. But hey, this is the first big trailer. I was kind of expecting it to be at the Game Awards, being as Jeff Keighley has some sort of repertoire with, or rapport, not repertoire, some sort of rapport with Bethesda, but I guess maybe that has changed now that not only have they been bought out by Microsoft, but also this involves Amazon, right? This doesn't just exclusively involve BGS and video games. You know, we may see another teaser or something there just as well, but hey. Anyway, just as we had done, speaking of the Game Awards, just as we had done in that extra long video, we'll sort of do a picture-in-picture situation. I think we'll do a little fade cut, but if under some circumstances, if under some likely circumstances, the audio or video of the trailer is in some way like majorly copyrighted, we will tread very carefully, right? We'll be very careful. Somehow other channels and stuff get away with this, and I'm not sure exactly how, but I'm going to find out by way of doing this. This is, of course, not the plan for the future with regards to when the show comes out. It'll just be me talking in front of the camera. But for this, it's just a trailer. And I haven't seen the trailer yet either. I've seen some people talking about, I've seen a few stills from it. But that's it. So, hey, I figured, why not? We'll make a little fun video about it. I figure a lot of folks would want to see that. Anyway, here we go. I'll see you after the cut. All right, here we are, ready to do our viewing. I've got my headphones on. Eventually, for sort of this picture-in-picture situation and all of that, the sort of face cam situation, if I did want to do it, maybe for regular playthroughs, but certainly for streaming. I'm not sure if I like the idea of having it for regular playthrough videos. I don't know. There's something that I enjoy about not having the face cam, but at the same time, I get that a lot of people kind of want it. And I don't, certainly I don't mind dressing up a little bit for the camera and all that. But nonetheless, for here, I would like to get some just earbuds or whatever, because these seem so cumbersome, and I don't know. I feel silly wearing them when I'm appearing sort of in front of the camera, right? Which I know a lot of people do it, but I don't know. It just feels wrong. I feel like I need earbuds or something like that, right? Something to think about. Anyway, here we go. The teaser trailer, the first one of, I presume, many, coming out in April 12th, I think it was. We already know a decent amount about this, but already we can see all of this. We'll just watch it straight through at least once. That way, if we need to cut it or anything like that due to copyright concerns, I can take care of it easy. And then we'll sort of like scrub through and talk about the details as we go, right? Seems like a good idea. All right. Here we go. Wow. Yeah, it looks pretty good, right? As we've been seeing from the casting looks pretty solid. The budget for a lot of the sets and costuming that we've been seeing coming out looks pretty solid. Really, for me, the big question remains, like, how good is the writing? I mean, we know the director is, like it said there, sort of responsible for Westworld, which had a phenomenal first season and sort of not as, like, very hit and miss seasons afterward, where each episode there would be like, oh my god, this episode of Westworld is amazing. Or, oh my gosh, this one was such a snooze fest. This one was so horrible or incoherent, right? But my God, the first season of Westworld, the new series on HBO, really, really good. But evidently, they were quite the fans of Fallout. And even you can see it in some of Westworld where it's kind of a wink and nod toward it. And I believe as Westworld was airing, at least season 1, I want to say the Fallout like official Twitter handle or whatever was messaging or was, doing this sort of brand messaging, right? They're messaging other brands and stuff. They did that with the Westworld one, which I wonder if I would have to assume that by then they were already in early talks, even that long ago. Maybe. I don't know. Or maybe that was the start of it. Anyway, sorry if if you're just seeing this part, because that means I had to cut that due to copyright concerns, but we will scrub through this without any audio. But speaking of audio, of course we had some old-timey, 1940s-ish music playing during this. I have no idea if it's copyright or whatever. I would presume so. Nonetheless, it was not the ink spots, right? I do wonder if they will include the ink spots in this. I would assume so, right? Because even the newer games and stuff, they don't always have their first teaser trailer showing or sort of unleashing the ink spots, as it were, in the first teaser, but the game does certainly, make no mistake, feature it. Except for the spin-off stuff, right? 76 didn't have it. New Vegas didn't have it, right? And Fallout 2, for copyright reasons, didn't have what they had originally wanted. Or due to licensing reasons, I should say. But yeah, I wonder if they'll do it. Either way, it works. I think if they do it here, if they do have the ink spots play, here, let's get rid of Prime. That way it seems like less of a fucking ad. But I would guess that it would work either way, because by way of having a licensed InkSpot song playing in the show, opening with it, or whatever, it's a fun wink and nod, right? It's like, hey, we get it, right? But very obviously they get it. Very, very clearly, just from the set design and everything, costuming, whatnot, the sort of tone of the trailer itself. They clearly get it. But even if they decide not to, I don't think it really matters, because it's kind of a spin-off in and of itself. It's not one of the core games. It's an adaptation of a... We already know this, in fact, I think from the Vanity Fair, I want to say it was, early exclusive look at the show. But that sort of revealed some of the inner workings of the show. Anyway. Sorry, we're getting too off schedule here. Let's look at this for a little bit, right? And I may have to mute this. I have it playing audio for me playing. Yeah, so this, it's very much, it's our newer version of the art style, right? Leaning into a lot of the new aesthetic, which I honestly really kind of like. I actually really enjoy it. I could see an argument for the more cohesive style of sort of the retrofuturism of Fallout 3 and New Vegas, which I feel like really fleshed out what was present in the first two games. In the first two games, it felt, I don't know. It felt splotchy at parts, right? It felt like it wasn't fully coherent, right? I'm not sure. It definitely had a style to it, but it felt like, and maybe it was just due to the 3D-ness of it, right? But as we've seen in our own playthroughs of Fallout 1 and 2 on the channel, there is some degree of it. Like you see in Fallout 3, particularly, big heads and stuff in the city. Big sort of busts of heads looking intimidating and terrifying around, right? Like, oh yeah, look at this. There's some immense power of bureaucratic state or whatever, right? Going on here. And you sort of get that impression with that. And there's very little of that in Fallout 1 and 2. I think the best example is on the oil rig, which, given Washington, D.C., the oil rig, enclave presence and whatnot, it makes sense. Which isn't to say they probably will have some of that here, right? Because there's no reason those two are not separate Those sorts of big heads exist in Fallout 4 and 76, right? They're just not the forefront. It's a slightly different version of retrofuturism, but I do enjoy the Fallout 4 aesthetic of it. I love the use of yellow with the gray and blue here as well, right? They've got the blue there, which I think that's something that I've really enjoyed about Fallout 4, with how it handled the 3D space of Fallout. Sort of, a lot of the world is brown, whether or not you're in a desert or you're in like the Commonwealth and whatnot during the autumn. A lot of it is brown, and what goes really good with that sort of desaturated, brightened brown on sort of an artistic standpoint is a nice, like, baby blue, right? A nice baby blue sky to sort of be a backdrop. It looks really good. It pops really great. It works so good in a 3D space. Not something that you had to consider in the first two games, because isometric top-down. Anyway, here already, you get to see it. It's all the color schemes. It looks amazing. It looks so much like the games. It's ridiculous how authentic it is. Like, it's not quite exactly the same. I remember in Fallout 4, I want to say there's more stuff like on the side of the tunnels and all of that. But my God, it's like I'm witnessing a dream come to life, right? It's like I'm witnessing my mind's eye. The apple in my eye is turning around. It's being rendered in color. It's in 3D. It's casting shadows all over. What? The apple is actually a vault from Fallout. It's Vault 33. Whoa. Anyway. Very cool. It looks amazing. More of the art style. They're using the Fallout 4 looking vault suits and whatnot. That makes perfect sense. They look phenomenal there, I think.
A relatively comfortable life.
Now, one of the interesting bits of this is we're beginning with this character, I believe, whose name is Lucy, from my understanding of this. Am I to believe that this is going to be sort of an anthology of stories? Not very, like, deliberate, not very clearly outlined as an anthology, but effectively an anthology. We will begin with one character and sort of experience another. Maybe that's what'll happen. Like, we begin with Lucy, we go to Walton Goggins' character, the Ghoul, and there is, I think, a Brotherhood member as well who we will see, and I think it will focus on them. I wonder how that will be handled, I should say. I think it goes one of two ways. We have, like, this character, Lucy or whatever, is sort of like the stand-in for an audience member who's completely unfamiliar with Fallout, right? Who doesn't know anything about the games. They're just watching this show because, like, their significant other, their kid, whoever. In John Carpenter's case, John Carpenter is making his grandkids or whatever watch the Fallout TV show with him. For whatever reason, you're watching it, maybe you heard about it and it's reviewing well or whatever, or it's in the cultural zeitgeist and you want to get in on it, right? You're watching it and you don't know shit about it. This character, a vault dweller, just as it is with the games, right? Perfect narrative device to frame a person who is fresh to the sort of intellectual property, right? It's the perfect way to be like, oh yeah, I don't know anything about this. Boom, this character, usually your character, is your perspective, right? But I wonder, will they continue? Will it swap perspectives, right? Will we have an alternating situation where, like, one episode focuses on Lucy, one episode afterward focuses on the Ghoul, one focuses on, what do you call him? The Brotherhood member, right? Or what I would think is more likely, if they did have their... Or we focus on this Lucy character, moving through the world, you encounter someone, so-and-so episodes are about the Ghoul, so-and-so episodes are about, the Brotherhood member, right, who I don't know the name of. That could be an option. Or what I think may also be possible, they sort of clip them in and out, right, sort of... You see this a lot in modern day prestige television where there's multiple characters, right? That way you don't have to sort of dwell on lulls, and you can have sort of cliffhangers within your own episode, right? Like, I don't know, very famously Game of Thrones did a lot of that, right? Where there's different things going on in different parts of the world, and sort of cuts between them whenever it's relevant, or just to sort of like smooth out the pacing, you know? At least in the better seasons of Game of Thrones, I'll say. But I wonder if that'll happen here. I have no idea. I'm very curious how they handle it. But it makes so much sense to sort of have, regardless of what the fate is of this character toward the end of the season, I'd have to imagine they'll make it, right? Very obviously, great idea to have it be this person who is a vault dweller, right? It makes so much sense because so many people, given it's on a new medium now, that being television, well, streaming video television, so many people will be being experienced to the IP for the first time. Great way to do it.
Stop! Lucy!
You can see already some shit went down, right? I believe Kyle MacLachlan's character is the overseer. Kyle MacLachlan being, he's been in a lot of stuff, right? He was in like the original Dune movies way back when. He's big in David Lynch stuff. He was Agent Cooper in Twin Peaks. But yeah, kind of fucked up there already. Lips a little fucked up. There's a eerie sense. There's someone dead. It looks like someone has died. Maybe that's Kyle MacLachlan. Who can say? Because neither of these people are Kyle MacLachlan. Already, you got some dead ass shit. I wonder if we'll see like a wink and nod. I don't know how much I want winks and nods. You know, it is very Fallout to have winks and nods, so it's not that bad. But I am the sort of person when I'm playing Fallout, I turned off Wacky Wild Wasteland or whatever, right? I play New Vegas without it. Come on, grow up. That's what I have to say. Come on, you're gonna have on Wild Wasteland. Grow up. No, but I wonder if there will be like a wink and nod to sort of the Fallout 1 death screen here, right? Like even this is pretty close to a wink and nod to it right away. I kind of don't want too many winks and nods, right? I kind of don't want that. I don't want it to be too referential, right? A few are okay, but if it's like every episode, you know, you kind of get into like the worst parts of contemporary Star Wars and whatnot, where it's like every fucking Star Wars whatever has to be someone saying like, I got a bad feeling about this, right? It's always got to be a wink and nod, and it's just like, come on. Jeez, I'm Pete. But here, I don't know. It does kind of fit the Fallout vibe, but I hope they don't do too much of it. You know? I kind of hope they don't. Or at the very least, just keep it to visual gags that you kind of see in the foreground or background. Yeah, from the director of the award-winning series Westworld, Jonathan Nolan. Which, there were two directors. It was Jonathan Nolan's partner, significant other, that did Westworld, right? And like I said, yeah, the first season of Westworld, holy shit, incredible. It was amazing. It was fantastic. So hey, first season of Fallout TV show, I'm sure it'll be great. The other ones, I don't know. If it gets renewed, which I'm sure they would want, we'll see. All right, here we go. Very clearly, we're looking at California. Listen, we've all played Grand Theft Auto 5. This is California. You know what this is. More importantly, though, California, LA specifically, the Boneyard, that's in Fallout 1. That's in Fallout 1. You specifically go there. You don't go to the, like, marina and all of that, but you go to areas like this up here, right? And we've got very sort of, I guess, New Vegas tint, though over here we're getting a little Fallout 3 as we move further east.
You need to go home.
All right. I do wonder, we'll turn on the
Vault dwellers
subtitles.
are an endangered species.
Yeah, there's a big old nasty rad roach. Looks very cool. Which I'm fairly certain, yeah, it's CG, right? Yeah. Look at that. I do love how much of the costuming and stuff appears to not be CG. How much of the sets If it is CG, it's very convincing. They look very much like they're leaning into practical effects for stuff like that. It's really just like mutant creatures, FEV creatures and stuff that do not have practical effects that seem purely CG, as we'll see here in a bit.
I think you would be willing to do what it takes to survive up here.
Right. I wonder how long this person has been in the vault, because you can see they're like, oh my gosh, a tumbleweed. When, tumbleweeds existed before the end of the world. Come on. And the acclaimed video game creator, Todd Howard. Wild that they put Todd's name in here. I mean, it's true. We've got here beaches of California, right? This is on the West Coast. I don't know if you'd heard. This is set in the West Coast. I believe entirely. Unless, as I said, maybe with the Brotherhood and stuff, the other characters, it's going to flick between different parts of the world. But I don't think that is the case. I'm fairly certain this is entirely West Coast, LA area.
If you insist on staying.
Check out this motherfucker. Oh my god, my favorite dude from Lost. I don't even remember his name. But his real name. But Benjamin fucking Linus. Dude I love this guy in Lost. My favorite character in Lost. Absolutely. Fantastic.
And you will have to adapt.
Dogmeat going wild. Dogmeat is nasty. Dogmeat is eating shit. Dogmeat is holding hands, and not in a cute way. Dogmeat is holding people's, like, severed hands.
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah. We got the vertibirds, which okay. The vertibirds very clearly CG, right? They're, like, maybe if we see some parked ones, sure, but very, very much, ain't no way they're building a vertibird, right? They look great, though. But hey, vehicles and stuff in computer renderings, car games and shit like that. Looks fantastic. What's interesting here? What's that? What's that right there? Do you see that right next to that little building? What the fuck is that? Is that a solar panel? There's a geodesic dome. Are solar panels in Fallout? Do we got solar panels in Fallout? We do. We absolutely do. They nailed it. Of course we got solar panels in Fallout. Who could forget the giant laser cannon that shoots down? Who could forget? I definitely didn't forget. And here's our Brotherhood character. God, I want them to do the typical Fallout thing where, well, I guess not for 3. Not so much. They allude to it. But man, at least in this, I want the Brotherhood to have like a heel turn where they're just like fascist assholes. I want that so bad. I want that to be part of the storyline where they're just like complete dickheads, right? That's my favorite way in which they're played is when they seem good from. It's a great way to play such a morally gray faction, right? To where they seem like a benevolent force, but also upon a closer look, they're kind of shitty, right? They're kind of shitty. Sort of fantastic stuff. I love how they're used in New Vegas in 3. They sort of tease it a bit in 1 and 2, but very, very barely, right? They're sort of them being terribly shitty, right? They have such a back seat. Despite their involvement, they have such a back seat in world building for 1 and 2, right? Like, they're there a lot. You see a lot of them, but you don't really get any of that juicy sort of like, oh, we're kind of shitty too situation, right? Like, oh, we're all you got to turn to, but also we're fucked up, right? I love it. Hopefully they do that. I want them to be kind of fucked up and bad, which would be great because so far we don't know anything about an antagonistic force So the Brotherhood serving as an antagonistic force in this show would be stellar. And sort of this other person right here, if we're following their perspective as well, a great way to give our main characters or whatever, our own little party, sort of a one-up against the Brotherhood is, I don't know, this scribe or whatever, sort of abandoning ship, as it were. Man, I would love to have a Brotherhood pin. But sort of, it would be a great way to give them an upper hand, our party, as it were, to have them be able to have a fighting chance against whatever hell will be put upon them throughout this. Because we don't really know anything about the narrative for this whatsoever. But yeah, if I had to guess, they'll go along with the Brotherhood. They got the big suits of power armor. Power armor looking fucking amazing, by the way. Wow, it looks incredible. But they'll witness some sort of fucked up, like, crimes against humanity, war crimes and shit like that perpetrated by the Brotherhood. Is they're like, I thought we were supposed to be helping people or whatever, right? They'll say that. And then they'll be like, man, I don't know about this. And then suddenly push will come to shove and they'll have a sort of come to Jesus moment where they've met the rest of the party. The Ghoul, Lucy, and Dogmeat are all there. And the scribe is like, fuck, no, I can't hurt these people. I'm going to fuck up the Brotherhood Knight or whatever. I'm going to fuck up this paladin and murder him or something like that, right? And then you get a whole fun moment there, and that's how they have a chance at doing whatever they're doing in this, right?
Tomorrow, so
there we go. Dogmeat looking gross. Practical effect on the hand, it looks like. Same with the armor. This dude, I don't know who this guy is, but God, I love him in everything I see him in. Most recently in Severance. Fantastic show, Severance. Absolutely stellar. He was fantastic in it. I can't wait for the new season, whenever that ends up being. Of course, solidarity to the striking writers and actors and whatnot who had gone through their stuff, right? I think all of that's concluded. I don't know. It's been going on for a while, so I'm not sure. I want to say it all concluded, or at least the writer's version did. Nonetheless, I think it all concluded just recently, like past month or two. But regardless, he's fantastic in it. I'm guessing he will have a role limited to the beginning, right? Where we're focused on Lucy, right? I would presume he will not make it out of the vault, right? We got people training. This guy looking like he fucking maxed out strength. He's got the nerd rage going on. Well, I don't even know about that, but he's got some kind of rage going on. Do you think we're going to see drugs in this? God, I hope we see drugs. Oh, shit. Do you think we'll see Nuka-Cola in this? I mean, you have to, right? It's such a staple. But at the same time, I mean, I guess if you can get away with it in the game, shouldn't you be able to... Is there different, like, licensing or rights issues that a television show would run into with portraying something that's very clearly meant to be riffing on Coca-Cola? They ought to be able to get away with it, right? Anyway, you get, like, a very cool junk town, right? I don't think it is the junk town. This is something else. But also some plant growth as well. There's Walton Goggins. I think he'll do fantastic in this. Very much enjoy Walton Goggins as well. If after this, after the Fallout TV show, let's go back a bit. When the next Fallout game comes out, whether or not that is some spiritual successor to New Vegas or the next core game, I would guess that this character will end up being fairly popular. Even if the show is bad, there is a good chance people will see this character and be like, man, this guy rocks. I want to be him. I want to be a ghoul. And you can't do that yet. You can't legitimately be a ghoul. You got to let people be a ghoul in the next Fallout game. Come on. What are you doing? They almost did it with 76, but they backed out of it ultimately, right? I believe that was the story. But we gotta let people be ghouls, you know? It's cool as hell. Who wouldn't? Well, I mean, it's horrible, right? If you actually want to be a ghoul, you know, it's terrible. It's suffering beyond human comprehension. But, you know, as for a role-playing game, awesome. We gotta get it. We gotta get in there and do it. Got like some kind of lever action as well, right? They've got the sort of Western Wild West theming going on, right? Very, very much Fallout. Very much love it. Very little of it in Fallout 4. Some in 3. Pretty much all of the Wild West stuff in Fallout 4, I think, was constrained to the Nuka World stuff, which actually was in a desert somewhere, somehow. But yeah, it's a staple. Franchise staple. Obviously, if you're in California, you gotta have a lot of that. I believe we'll see like NCR and stuff in some way. There's some micro-faction issues going on in the Boneyard as well. I wonder if we'll see that. It depends on when the timeline is. Just a cool, fucked up looking house. Sets looking great, right? I'm not sure if this is a car that we'll be driving, but hey, Fallout 2, letting you know, cars, no stranger to Fallout, right? You get a car in Fallout 2, you drive it around. The music that plays while you're driving around, fantastic. It's superb. Hopefully we'll get some of this, and hopefully, hey, in Fallout whatever next, we will be driving around cars, right? If we're using the Creation Engine 2 or whatever, shit, let's just tweak around that spaceship stuff from Starfield, and let's get ourselves a car or something.
Unless
Somebody got that big poopy diaper going on, right? Looking like how you look after you playing a little Fallout for too long. You know what I'm saying? No, probably this person is becoming a ghoul, right? This person is becoming a feral ghoul in some way. Maybe that is Walton Goggins. Legit.
I see
Some cool gunfighting, right? Very gory. This person got one eye, but at the same time, they have one eye, yet they are like some member of a vault. How'd that happen? What's going on there? Some kind of weird experiment? I don't know. And then immediately after that, I can't help but notice, is this person's eyes really big now? Right? I don't think her eyes were that big in the other shots. But now I'm like, after seeing that one person with one really big eye, I'm like, are her eyes actually like big here? What's going on?
I grabbed a moldy one.
Oh, so this has to be, yeah, a moldy one. Gotcha. It has to be after the fact, like way later or something. Right? I don't know. Maybe people come into their vault and try to like be like, yeah, we're vault dwellers, yeah. Because look at the can here; it's a little rusted over as well. The suit is a little screwed up. I don't think this is Kyle MacLachlan. Doesn't look like him. The turrets look really a lot like the video game version, except for the computer at the bottom. But it's saying, please remain calm. Of course, that works so well. It's Fallout to a T. Some scientist with dog meat sort of getting blasted in what looks like a snow area. Are we maybe like up in the mountains or something? I don't know. That doesn't seem like California to me, right? I don't even know what this place is. Yeah, look at this. It's very snowy here. Very clearly like further west toward like the Rockies, right? Gotta be. Huh. Yeah, very interesting. Okay. We got some Mr. Handies. We got some, like, really disgusting ice cream stuff. Yeah. This cow is just, like, squirting milk right out of its udders into this tub of ice cream where these children are delightfully excited to, like, just start licking it up. Good God. Okay. That's pretty fucking gross. I'm assuming we'll see Brahmin, right? We'll see some two-headed cows and all of that, surely. This is probably a lead-in, a tease to it, right? Like, in the show itself. We'll see this scene, then the character will be like, whoa, two-headed cows? This place is so weird. Whoa, Fallout? What? Kyle MacLachlan. Gonna be great, right? God, hopefully they don't squander him. Dude's a banger. Absolutely dope as hell. Looks like talking to maybe Lucy, our lead vault dweller. Maybe our lead character. I don't know. Regardless, they have some sort of relationship. Maybe they're family. Maybe they just are good friends. Who can say? But it seems as though dude is toast, right? Here's our Brotherhood member. I'm sure seconds before getting some sort of PTSD and being like, oh, fuck. Maybe the Brotherhood sucks ass. God. Right? Maybe moments before realizing, Jesus, the Brotherhood is bad. Oh, fuck. Here, hang on. There we go. All right. Yeah, some hellish stuff going on. Let's go back and look at that real quick. Yeah, somebody fucked up and down. They're getting blasted by somebody. Who would have that firepower to be blasting like that? Do you think we'll see the Enclave in this? I mean, they're definitely still in operation heavily, right? I want to say. The timeline on this, I think. I can't remember exactly. But I want to say Enclave should be active, shouldn't they? Even if it's not those on the oil rig, right? I don't know whether this is pre or post Fallout 2. I cannot remember. I'm not even sure if we know. But regardless of whether it is pre or post Fallout 2, you could still have Enclave, right? Shit, there's remnants in New Vegas years and years later, right? You could still have some of them out here running around. Got a Yao Guai, very clearly CG, right? Which, you know, looks rough. Got some rads coming in from that barrel. CG, you're not meant to pause on CG like we're doing, right? It's always going to look rough. You're meant to just kind of like, oh, whoa, it looks weird and freaky, right? And you don't focus in on it too much. But it does really highlight how nice the power armor suit looks, relatively speaking, because, my God, the practical effects on that. They actually, like, built that shit, I believe. Yep, looks fantastic. Who is this running? Is this our lead dweller? I don't think so. Outfit looks totally wrong, but the hair looks right. Carrying perhaps our mystical MacGuffin? Carrying perhaps a Gek? I don't know. What better a MacGuffin to have be an important plot point in a Fallout TV show than a Gek, you know? I wonder what it will be. But this very clearly seems to be what will be the focal point, right? It seems fairly important. We have, like, a new creature? New creature just dropped. Fucked up axolotl with, like, 1,000 dicks inside of its mouth. Yeah, look at him. Got some little fingers in there. This person just going, like, full mutant mode. Got some sort of weird, nasty thing coming out of their eyeball. I would guess this is either tied to fucked up Vault Tech experiment or, judging by the look of the gun and everything, I don't know. Is this inside of the vault? Is the question. I would say yes, given the greenery everywhere. But, maybe this is something going wrong in the vault, thanks to the fucked up Vault Tech experiment. Or maybe people came back to the vault, right? And it gets inhabited by raiders in some way. Enormous Brotherhood ship? I don't think this is the Prydwen, right? I don't think it is. I would assume it is another like it on the West Coast. There's no reason they couldn't have more, you know? But it would be wild if it were. Because it could be the case, right? Because Maxon, you know, there's lineage from the West Coast to the East. You know, this could be it setting off for the eastern seaboard or whatever, which I don't think so, but maybe. I'm more open to the idea that it's a different one, but still not something I anticipated seeing in this. I didn't expect them to pull the sort of airship trigger, as it were. But hey, if you got vertibirds, why not? Oh, and you know what? What is very interesting here, we're just assuming, and I think that confirms it right there. Is that a Brotherhood logo? Huh. Because I have to wonder, given the fact that this is West Coast, I wonder what the timeline is, and I wonder, how does the Enclave not see this, you know? At a certain point, pre-Fallout 2, Enclave should have far better air superiority over the Brotherhood. I wonder how that'll work out, right? And there's like a million ways you could write around it and have your cake and eat it too, right? To be clear. Oh, shit. Is this Walton Goggins? It is, isn't it? Yeah, look, there's the city getting blown apart. Maybe Walton Goggins' character's child, or just some child, trying to save the child or whatever, right? And already he's into, like, cowboy shit, pre-war as well. They're trying to escape. It ain't gonna work out. Dude's gonna get ghoulificationed in a major way. You can see the city getting obliterated in the background. Yeah, definitely Walton Goggins. Yeah, there we go. Oh, and look! Hey! There's our little original wink and nod again. Right there, the little billboard. Getting hit by a lot of them, too, out here. And you can see the horse as well already right there on the right. Going to go further up. Yeah, very neat. They also kind of retro-futuristicated the cityscape and all of that. I believe. Looks like it. Yeah, looks cool. We'll do this for more trailers and stuff. As they come out, we may do them differently depending on how this one is received by way of the sort of YouTube copyright systems, right? Like I said, I may have to cut and trim stuff in this. We'll see. I want to try and get this video out ASAP. But we'll do them for more big, larger trailers, and when the show actually comes out, we'll do sort of a weekly thing, talking about each sort of episode as it airs, just because I enjoy it. I have fun with it, right? I'm not cautiously optimistic. I am dangerously optimistic. I'm like one of the worst people to come to for having an even-keeled head about this stuff, because I very much am into it. I enjoy it quite a bit. Yeah, looking forward to it. April 12th, I think. It'll tell us here, won't it? God, could you imagine if the trailer didn't give us a date? Yeah, April 12th. There you go. Very much looking forward to it. We'll talk more about it. I'm sure we'll get plenty more trailers. We'll do more videos like this, sort of just up out of nowhere. Yeah, looks good so far. Hopefully the story is solid. I mean, shit, even if it isn't, I have to imagine already they've got the makings of maybe not received critically very well, right? That could go either way, whether or not it's quality. But I think a bunch of people are going to watch it one way or the other, right? I think people are going to watch the whole thing. I know I am. If it's bad, I'm still going to watch it. I'm still going to put up those videos. So, God, I hope it's good. But nonetheless, there you have it. And of course, I don't think we actually mentioned here, but yeah, it's about completely different characters than those that we know from the game, right? Characters that we would know from games, and most, as far as I know, will be just like mentioned in the background or show up for a bit. They will not be the main focal point. My understanding is that it is this Brotherhood character, this ghoul, and this vault dweller, and of course Dogmeat, that are sort of party, as it were. All right. Fallout teaser trailer. I don't know when we'll get another one. Maybe we'll get another one for the Game Awards. I don't think so, though. This close? Game Awards are just around the corner. I don't think so. Probably some other time, right? Amazon isn't beholden to it. There's no need for them to futz around there. When's the... I think April would be before faux E3, right? What used to be E3. So I don't know. But also, a lot of folks, myself included, very much wondering if that Fallout 3 remaster is going to hit around the same time as this. That would make a lot of sense, you know? Without this, of course, you could easily plan for like, oh, it'll come in October 23rd, you know, your Fallout Day. But with this being a reality, I feel like pushing out the Fallout 3 remaster, if it is ready to go, like who can say with COVID, like pandemic delays and whatnot, and just general purpose delays, who could say if it is good to go? But from the sounds of it, from what we all know, it sounds like it probably will be able to hit the ground running at the same time as the show, you know? We'll see. We'll see. All right. Fallout teaser trailer. There it is. Like I said, we'll do more. Until next time, please take care of each other.